Yeah. That way to be it. Got my boy Gerber Johnson in this motherfucker, man. Let's go. Make sure to who is this dude? If any of y'all do that while some girls around, if I see you do it, when she leave, we shooting a 30.
Hot people. They're just like regular people, except everybody likes them more. I know when I see a hot person, I just want to suck them and f them. Obviously, this only applies if they're over the age of 18. That goes without saying, and they have to be awake, you know, like not sleeping, because I wouldn't do that. And also they have to be a woman, because I'm not gay, not even a little bit, unless you give me $50. But anyways, therein lies the reason why people like hot people more, because everybody wants to pork them. Because if you think about it, what really makes a hot person hot? Is it just an arbitrary societal thing that we randomly apply to people based on the conditions of our culture? Well, not really, because the idea that looks are subjective has been scientifically disproven. And you could just observe by looking across the world, there are universal things that make people attractive. Things like a good shoulder to hip ratio in men and a good hip to waist ratio in women. And just general things like the symmetry of your face, the harmony of your face, which they've boiled down to certain ratios, right? These things are true across all cultures because they're rooted in biology. Being hot is indicative of good genetics. That's kind of like what it means.
Get your genetics up.
And you want to mix with those genetics because you want to pass them off to your offspring, because you want your kids to be hot. And then everybody will like your hot kids, and you'll have hot grandkids, and it'll just be one big hot happy family that everybody wants to fuck. And because everybody wants to pork hot people, we ascribe positive character traits to them. This is a manifestation of what's called the halo effect, which is a well-observed psychological phenomenon. Attractive people are seen as
I have heard of that.
Nicer.
I have heard that, because y'all know I was in college for 3 years to be psychologically
more charismatic and virtuous. This is why in traditional stories, protagonists are good-looking fellers, and villains are always some malformed, twisted-looking person. And of course,
okay. Let's be honest though.
Villains
look though,
are always some
You gon' I can see why you gonna trust her though. If she just came up to you, pulled up on you, eat this apple, you gonna eat it? Not even because I mean, it is. Oh, dang, he might have just did something. He might have just cooked. Because I would be like, well, look at her. Dang, he might have just cooked. For real. Whole time, she could be trustworthy and loving. She ain't asked to look like that. You know what I'm saying? So, he might got a point on. He might got a point.
Twisted looking person. And of course you can find examples of good looking villains in modern times, but when this happens, people don't even dislike the villain, they just thirst over them. And that's fine if that's what is intended by the writer, but generally speaking, protagonists are hot because we look at them and automatically assume they're the good guys. And villains are weird looking, so we look at them and go, oh, well, just look at them, they're definitely up to some devious behavior. That's just how the human brain works, my baby. You judge people because if you say you don't, you're a liar.
Am I tweaking?
A series of experiments.
I swear I just seen something
it takes
fly
just
across me.
1/10 of a second for you to automatically judge someone by their appearance. And this happens subconsciously, automatically. Are you interested in making a good first impression?
Bro, why do he got his feet out and some peanut butter? Half gone, been munching. And we skipping past this. Get your bread though.
Are you tired of not getting
back to back?
any YouTube views, having no content ideas, and just feeling like a phony? Well,
I didn't hear email.
You will apply the daily morning affordable price box because
they ain't paying me money.
The cultural narrative is that looks are just skin deep, and it's what's on the inside that counts. But what if you could accurately predict someone's behavior by looking at their physical appearance? What if your outward appearance is more of a reflection of what's going on inside? and they're not two completely separate things. This is what's called physiognomy. No, it's not physiognomy. And even if it is, I don't want to say it, so I'm changing it. Physiognomy is the art of judging someone's character by their physical appearance. And it is regarded by the mainstream scientific community as a pseudoscience, but there are still many people who believe it to be true. I see it used a lot in internet discourse, so I wanted to take a look at it. And I don't feel super strongly about this topic, but I'm inclined to believe that it's real. Look up pedophile on Google Images.
Okay. First off, I don't know why he Googled that. Second off, why does he have another tab called Hot Asian Men? We got you, Robert. Gotcha. Gotcha. What are you talking about? But even if, would you think these people were files? I mean,
are you gonna sit here and tell me these motherfuckers don't look like pedophiles? I could have told you if you just showed me a picture of them with no context. Physiognomy has been used since ancient times. It was specifically practiced by the Greeks. It was.
I don't know. That was hard. I don't know.
Not that that really means a lot because they fucked boys and did all this other stuff. As you might imagine, there's a correlation between the size of your head and your IQ. It sort of just makes sense. Bigger head, big brain. I'll try to put the studies up on the screen while I'm talking about them. But when it comes to these sort of things, we're measuring correlations, and none of these correlations are super strong, like a 1-to-1 or even above a 0.5. They're around 0.3, 0.2. So they're not like a rule. They're more of just indicators that when paired together, you can use to make a judgment. When it comes to your body type, there's a correlation between being skinny and being neurotic. You know, if you think about it, their heart's beating faster, that's burning fats. There's anorexia, which is a neurosis. And on the other hand, if someone's fat, it's an indicator they have lower impulse control. Because let's say they have the impulse to eat some bread, and they can't control it. A strong jawline, hollow cheekbones, having...
That's why you need to go get some exercise, go outside, get right. I feel like half of the people who I would say are a little bigger, whatever, it ain't even that y'all bad looking. It's just some people are just turned off by like, oh, they're big or whatever. So it's like a turn off. But if y'all get slim, y'all already you just going outside the wall, you already better than 80% right there.
A wide skull, facial hair, straight eyebrows, and a pronounced ridge. These are all signs of being aggressive and risk-taking, and this is true because they're indicators of having higher testosterone. Then on the other side of that, there's smoother skin, a smaller chin, arched eyebrows, and plump lips, which are a sign of estrogen, which means this person's going to be less aggressive, more emotional. And this is, you can observe this in both men and women. There's this weird correlation between pupil size and intelligence, which I couldn't really think of a reason for that. And generally speaking, attractive people are also more intelligent. There's a kind of a good correlation there, which is unfortunate because that's a cope that you use. You look at a hot person and go, oh, they're dumb. You know, all they have is their looks. But it turns out they're just like 100% better than you on like a fundamental level. But it's all good though, because everybody's gonna die one day, even hot people. And in the heavenly kingdom of God,
well, why is you back with the
There's this thing where if your
teens?
ring finger is longer than your pointer finger, that shows having higher testosterone. Also, if your second toe is longer than your big toe. And also there's peer-reviewed studies to suggest that girls with dyed hair are evil bitches. And while they do give ridiculous head, every time it happens, they're actually sucking little pieces of your soul out of your body because they're spawned of Satan. I see physiognomy being used in political discourse.
Why is he
specifically
got
by
this
the
up
right,
here for so long?
citing sources that say people who are conservative and religious are more attractive, more intelligent, taller. I don't really see the same thing being said by the left that often, but the thing is these correlations aren't that strong, and that's because the left is the...
I think this is like an editing mess up. I don't think this ain't supposed to be here. We gotta watch this thing because he don't come back into frame until now.
The cultural zeitgeist at the moment. It's the prevailing.
I don't know what's going on here.
Attractive, intelligent people are also correlated with being more conformist. That's why at this point in time, there actually are quite a bit of good-looking feminists because that's just the cultural norm now. And attractive
I'm a feminist.
intelligent people are shown to conform. But anyways, as you know, when it comes to politics, I actually 100% agree with you. I've also seen physiognomy talked about in relation to self-improvement, as in positive changes in your life can lead to positive changes in your physique.
That's exactly what I said earlier. You going, get some exercise in, you get I mean, he's had the tees up there. If you got pimples and stuff, get the tees, get whatever, go to Target, get a face mat, you know what I'm saying? Just start taking care of yourself. Little stuff like that is going to add. If you were 6, 0.3, 0.4, 0.2, now you at 8. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's going to add little points.
In your body, and possibly even your face. It's pretty easy to find evidence saying that eating healthy and working out makes you more attractive. And it's pretty easy to tell people who have bad habits and bad addictions look worse. An extreme example is people who smoke crack look all fucked up, people who take hard drugs, but also being on the internet.
It's true though. It is true.
You've probably seen that image of this is what a gamer will look like in 15 years or something. But I do think over time, indulging in these bad habits, being a chronically online person, you look different. And when it comes to this stuff, I'm just theorizing. There's no direct evidence because it's harder to measure. But I think someone who is addicted to the hub has a certain look. And on the other hand, I think someone who has good, fulfilling hobbies that aren't consuming media, they have a better looking face. And obviously genetics are the predominant factor when it comes to this sort of thing. I don't want to make it too blue-pilled, but I wanted to end this with a positive message of self-improvement because I do think being on self-improvement, working out, eating right, kicking bad habits, replacing them with good ones, following a good schedule, these lead to changes in the way you look. Stuff like working out and eating healthy, the impacts of that are more obvious. You get a leaner face while working out, your skin will clear up, you'll get a better body. But I think generally having better habits, it leads to subtle yet impactful changes in your facial harmony. Things like tighter, more youthful, brighter eyes. I would say generally a more tighter, more structured looking face, glowing skin. Making these changes in your life, I do think there are subtle changes in your facial harmony
right now.
that can make a big difference in your overall look. But yeah, in conclusion, if she changes her hair with dye, run away and fly.
Okay. Anyway, hey, my boy Gerber, he was spitting some flame. I ain't gonna lie to you. He had some points, but yeah, man, self-improvement is definitely something, male or female, you should be on. You should always want to better yourself. I mean, why not? You got to be better than everyone, but just be better for you, for your fulfillment and everything like that. But I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.